Irina sat on the edge of the bed, nervously twirling the old bracelet that Pavel had once given her. It was simple, without any embellishments, but she had kept it as something precious. Now, that bracelet, just like their relationship, felt foreign. She looked around the room, her eyes skimming the empty walls, once adorned with their joint photos. Everything around her seemed so familiar and yet so distant at the same time. Pavel stood by the window, not turning to face her. His silhouette was sharp and detached, as if he had become a part of this world, but no longer her world. Irina felt a chill settle in her chest. He was silent, and that silence was more frightening than any words. She knew he wouldn't admit it. She knew his words would be empty. He had always said he couldn't live without her, but now he couldn't even look her in the eyes. "You going to say something?" His voice was weak, as if he didn't even believe his own words. He turned toward her, but his gaze was distant, as if an invisible wall stood between them. Irina felt her heart freeze. She had known the answer for a while, but she still hoped this was just a nightmare. Everything she had endured in the past few weeks felt so surreal that she couldn't accept it as reality. She couldn't believe he had betrayed her. The man who had been her friend, her love. "I can't believe you're saying this to me." Her voice trembled, and she couldn't hold back the tears. "You cheated on me. You ruined everything." Pavel didn't answer. He lowered his gaze, like a person who had already given up. Irina saw his lips tremble slightly, but he didn't speak. The silence in the room deepened, and she understood that this moment was the point of no return. She held the bracelet tighter, but it no longer provided comfort. This symbol was destroyed, just like all their memories, now seeming like mere illusions. She didn't know what to say, how to break the silence, which was 1,000 times louder than words. Pavel continued to stand by the window, unmoving, as if his body was here, but his soul was somewhere far away, in another time and place. "Did you even love me?" she asked, barely able to keep her voice steady. Or was that a lie too? Her words hung in the air, but Pavel didn't move. He just stood there, as if his body was here, but his soul was elsewhere. He couldn't answer her, because he didn't know how. He too was lost, but in his eyes, there was no regret, no remorse, only emptiness. "We can't be together anymore, Irina," Pavel finally said, not turning to face her. His voice was steady, as if he were talking about something unrelated to his life. "Everything's too tangled." Tangled. The word pierced her like a knife. It was tangled? Or was it just that he didn't want to figure it out? Irina realized that she no longer knew this man. His words were silent to her heart. She stood up and took a step toward him. There was a strange feeling, as if she was still trying to reach something that had once been real. But he remained as foreign to her as the moment she first realized something was wrong. "You cheated on me, Pavel. You ruined everything." She stood right in front of him, but there was no hope that he would hear her. It was a farewell, but not because she wanted to leave. It was a farewell because she could no longer love him. And that was the most terrifying thing of all. He couldn't answer. He wasn't able to answer. In that moment, Irina felt her world shattering completely. It wasn't a tragedy. It was just the end.